My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back to video games. This one in particular is called SpellRogue. It's time to play Azar. Azar needs to succeed with their C loadout. Fire C has the signature spell Mana Splinter. Put a die in it, and then it will split it in two. It also has the defensive spell Searing Heat. For 3 countdown and 2 charges a turn. Apply 2 weak. Increase that application by 1 for each die spent. And then Sharp Spark, which is for a 4 countdown 3 times a turn, deal 4 damage and apply 1 rupture. And we'll be going mutation stage 6, of course. I'm still learning, you see. I've got to do it so I can learning. Unrelenting Foes. On turn 1 and 2, all enemies receive Undying. Sounds good to me. Then there's Drought, 50% loss gold from combat. I don't want to take Forget Signature. No signature skill. I think my signature skill is probably going to be pretty important here. On turn 2, receive 3 curse, so they'll all have very low value. I mean, I'm not killing them on turn 2 anyway, so I'm probably just still weakening them to try and stay alive and defending. Which means maybe I can take Drought, negative 50% damage from combat gold, rather. And then Condemnation, for on turn 2 receive 3 curse. Now, we clarified in the last episode, next turn, if on turn 2 I receive curse, and that curse says next turn all dice lose 3 value, that actually triggers on that turn because it's applied at the start of the turn for Condemnation and it continues to activate as I roll my die. And then I need to take a modifier with 2. And I'm not going to want to put Escalation on top of Condemnation. We've seen how bad that can be. I'll take Penance. Lose 1 max health when collecting a spell. Sunweed Cloak. On health loss, gain 1 Bane Fire. There's also Phoenix Pendant. End of combat, heal 5 health. Actually, that doesn't seem incredible. I'm going to take the Emberstone Ring. On turn 1, roll 3 1s. Those 1s are going to be pretty good for invalidating targets with the weakness. Okay, I don't want to go to an early shop because I'm not going to have money for them. Up against 2 lesser shamblers here. Unfortunately, they are both undying. So... Give 4 weak to the frontliner there. 1 and 2. I mean, I can start to pre-damage them. But unfortunately, they will be undying still. Yes. If I split a 1, yeah, it does give me 2 1s. That's great. Which makes it easier for me to weaken the frontliner and Sharp Spark the second. Actually, I could have also split that 1 and had 1 towards my countdown of Sharp Spark already accounted for here. It's okay, I can split enough die in order to be able to take them both out this turn, so turn 3 is really going to be the action turn. Combustion. Oh, Glowing Visage. Gain 2 block. Increase by 2 for each dice spent. Interesting. And then when depleted, you roll 3 1-2s. I like that. That's some additional defense that I think actually may be really, really impactful for us. Especially on that turn, too. I'm gonna... Ooh, that won't even allow me to remove all of your damage, unfortunately. That's okay, I'm okay with taking 1 damage here. Let's split a 1 multiple times to generate as much as I can. I'm getting the Corrupt Brute 1 sharp spark away from death. And in fact, I'm even going to pre-invest in a Glowing Visage for next turn. Double split up that die. Weaken the frontliner. I'm gonna get another sharp spark out. Again, taking 1 more damage here, but if I draft 2 spells in the next 2 fights, I'm losing 2 max HP anyway, so losing that as current HP is not so threatening to me. Great. Yeah, we got the good resources here. A sharp spark for 4 damage and 1 rupture, and then taking advantage of that extra rupture in order to take the enemy out on the following turn. And then I can generate just enough with mana splintering in order to do 4 more damage to the frontliner and take him out. Done. Fragmentize! Split dice into 1s. Oh, there's also Pyre. Gain 4 block. If 4 or more dice are spent on this, gain 2 power. I do like both of those. Fragmentize, it feels like, might be better right now. Got a shard as well before I go to my first elite. Yay. Spine Fiend. Gain 1 power when attacked by spells. You are also already on 5. Let's split a 6. And a 5. There we go. I got a 3 to put into Fragmentize. Woohoo! Got him with some Searing Heat. I'm gonna rupture you twice, though. And in fact, I'm gonna do it 1 more time. There you go, more damage. Because 3 1s invested in Searing Heat then prevents any incoming damage on me, and you're pretty close to dead. Oh, really? 4 by 2. Oof. I'm gonna Fragmentize a 3. And pop a double mana splinter here. Searing Heat on the enemy until they're not doing any damage anymore, and then I'm going to preload my bases for some countdown spells on the next turn. And that'll already get us across the line. Second Sharp Spark is enough to do this bad boy in. Flowing Mana, a potion to reroll all die. There's Pyre again. Gathering Flames. Well, dang. So Gathering Flames would actually give me the ability to raise my power pretty significantly. It's gain 1 power, and it asks you to put 2 1s into it. But because I have Fragmentize, it's not that difficult to do. And then when depleted, you gain 3 Radiant. Or heck, I could even just roll an extra die for doing it. And then there's also Pyre. Gain 4 block. And if you've used 4 or more dice, gain 2 power. I'm going to take Pyre, actually. And then drop Glowing Visage for it. Glowing Visage only really makes sense as a great defensive option in the world where I'm also rolling some block. Sorry, I've also upgraded it so that it's giving me value back. Now I have to justify why I don't want to upgrade it. Fragmentize could give us 2 power just by splitting. Anytime it does. That's still pretty damn good. Admittedly, that's making me want to go back in the other direction again. I'm gonna upgrade Glowing Visage and put it back in instead of Pyre. Sanctuary? I could offer a spell. I don't think so. I'm going to a battle instead of a Sanctuary. I want to see another spell still. I don't want to give away a spell. I want to gain a spell. Ugh. They're going to be burning my spells. How dare they? I should set myself up for the best available next turn I can get. That'd be something along the lines of putting 5 individual die into Glowing Visage. I'll put it into Searing Heat instead of putting the final pip into Sharp Spark. Oh wow, it's just Mana Splinter that's ignited this turn, so if I just don't cast that, I'm fine. Yeah, I figured it was going to be impactful. If I use Glowing Visage here... Actually, let's fragmentize this too. I could get up to a total of 5? I'm gonna pop a Mana Splinter, because I do have 12 incoming damage. And then I'll invest 1, 2, 3, 4 more into my next Glowing Visage. Glowing Visage is actually a really good place to put my end of turn extra die. In the instance where that is a thing that I have. Alright, let's cast Glowing Visage. Oh man. This is a toughie. But they do just alternate between their abilities. Okay, so at least I know what they're going to be doing in the future as well. I'm gonna put my 6 into Glowing Visage just so that I can roll the additional die. Because yeah, if I get 2 2s, I can invest that into attacking an enemy and then throw 1 extra out of that into Searing Heat. Alright, I'm finally gonna kill someone. Use my heat to avoid damage this turn. And then a single summer spark for you, and I can start working on the next one. Yeah, I'm not going to need enough block on a turn to worry about Glowing Visage again. I only cast Sharp Spark 2 times next turn, and it'll be capable of taking out one of the chumps, specifically the backline Living Ember. Yeah, absolutely spot on. Gives me the Rupture to be able to continue fighting, and then even got a Sharp Spark for you at the end, so now I only have to worry about 2 Sharp Sparks next turn. Great! Whew, big long fight. Turn 7 here. But we got through it. Iron Skin Potion for 12 block. Very happy to see that. Combustion, Charcoal Backdraft, and Zeal of the Sun. Considering how long the turns have been going, I could see Combustion being pretty good. Reduce countdown cost by 4 this comp. No, that's on cast. Right, never mind. That's actually really bad. Charcoal Backdraft! 4s are really, really unlikely for me. But it does 2 damage and applies 4 Rupture to all enemies, which is not really relevant that much to us. We're fine, actually. It's okay. I think I reroll here. Ashen Plating. Gain 9 block, reduce its countdown cost by 1 this combat. It's also Fickle Barrier. Oh, I found some healing in this build. Fickle Barrier. For 2, gain 4 block. And also, if you're below 50% health, heal 2 health. Fickle Barrier could even be upgraded to be a 1 countdown, and then it's very easy to utilize. Take Ashen Plating. I don't know if I'm going to be using it, though. Glowing Visage is still too expensive for me to use. How do I think I'm going to find the time to play Ashen Plating? Please don't have summons. Okay, it's just the Abbot. Depending on what things you affect here, that could be pretty bad for me, actually. Okay, I'm going to Fragmentize. Get a bunch of 1s. I actually want to go the hell off on this first turn. And I have the most die this turn as well. Okay, I'm gonna use Branding Tonic on the enemy as well as Flowing Mana. Branding Tonic for you take 50% extra damage for the next 3 turns, and then Flowing Mana to reroll all of these. And I'll reroll them after I've split more die into. Yeah, because here's what I'm looking for. Sharp Spark, Sharp Spark, Sharp Spark on the enemy 3 times this turn. And then I want to be able to do it 3 times next turn. And then the turn after that, and this is important, they're not attacking anymore. So I can just go balls to the wall on that one. Prepared as best I could. Ooh, okay. I might actually be able to cast Glowing Visage this turn. another 6 damage on the enemy. I'll be taking, see, a little bit of damage to the poison, so 1 damage total here. Thank you for not infecting Sharp Spark. That is the one that I need most available here. Legitimately deeply appreciated. Okay, Sharp Spark for 4. Sharp Spark for 8. And I need to focus on weakening the enemy next turn. That's my best way to deal with this multi-attacking bud. A whole mess of 1s. And that'll get us pretty far. And then I can do some damage to you and start preparing for my next Sharp Spark. So 4, 5, 6, 15. I can't do more than 15 damage in a single turn, which means I will have to defend this turn. I have to fragmentize here, unfortunately. Searing Heat weakens our enemy, but I now have the ability to Sharp Spark you 3 times this turn. I take 4 damage to the poison, but I now have the ability to kill the Cropped Abbot on the next turn. Okay, cool. That additional shard is going to be really, really impactful. Woof. Extra gold, another spell. Demean. Apply 7 weak to the front opponent, but wound the next dice rolled. It's also Infused Shield, gain 3 block on a 3, roll a 1 to a 2, and then finally Wildfire Explosion, deal 10 damage and apply 2 weak to a random enemy. I'm going to take the reroll because I really don't want any of those. Kairotic Moment. Apply 5 weak to all enemies, unrestorable. And will accept any die. Enchanted Cloak on turn 1, gain 15 block. I'm going to take the shard there. Fragmentize needs to have the ability to give me power. It's too important. I think I'm going to try and go for another elite. I need another shard still.
Oh, that's so many enemies. Why does it have to be so many enemies?
Usually it's fine that there's this many enemies in a fight because you still have the ability to do something about them, as in kill them, but I don't. Mana Splinter gives me a 3, so I can fragmentize, gaining some power. I Splinter again, gaining the ability to Sharp Spark a couple of these units. I'm going to Sharp Spark each of the 2 that are gaining power so that I am closest to being able to slay them. And then I need to recognize that I'm going to have to defend next turn, so I'm going to pre-defend a bunch of things there, and then also do 6 more damage to the backliner. Ugh, giving snare to the glowing visage. Well, what's the damage? Not too high, as it turns out. But I still probably don't want to gain that snare. I should really keep my Iron Skin potion for the boss fight coming up. $14 block against an incoming 12 damage, and I've only got 1 marked, so it'll disappear at the end of this turn. And I can also start prepaying for my first Sharp Spark for the turn afterwards. Alright, we're good. All of these enemies have 8 fungus armor, but that only triggers after taking damage, so I get to take down the enemies first. One down. Two down. 3 down. And now it's just you and me, Corrupt Friar. I already killed your rabbit, and I'll kill you too! Fragmentize to gain some more power so I can kill him in a single move and then do so. Incandescence. Wasn't I looking at something that was radiant synergistic earlier? Could have sworn I was. I do like radiance. I do really like radiance. I'm gonna take incandescence and just keep it. I don't want to use it, but I do like radiance. I might want to use it in the future. Who knows? Head into an elite battle. I do have the Iron Bark, and that's what I'm really hoping to pull me through this one. Primordial Blaze, I see. I'm not killing this enemy on the first 2 turns anyway, so 10 points of my mutation stages are not relevant right now. I'm gonna split... Actually, I'm gonna fragmentize a 2. I only need the power out of it. The enemy gains an Intensify, which increases the amount of attacks this enemy performs. I need to kill this enemy as quickly as possible. So fundamentally, I'm going to just try and do damage at every available opportunity. Which includes getting 3 Sharp Sparks on the enemy and not preparing for a Glowing Visage or a Searing Heat on a later turn yet. Incoming damage is 12. Sorry, 10 rather. There's some fragment. I'm not in an especially good position to try and do damage to the enemy anyway right now, so I'm going to take my Glowing Visage. Defend for 14. The enemy will burn one of my spells. It's fragmentized. That's okay. Pop a 3 into fragmentize to gain some power. Perf. 1, 2, 3, and then a 3. I can defend myself against 10 with the Glowing Visage right now. And also get a Sharp Spark out there and start charging the next one. Enemy is attempting to intensify again. That's not good for me. But I can kill them this turn if I'm willing to take 2 damage to my Ignite. And I didn't even have to use my Ironhide Potion. Exact lethal, and here's another shard for us. Vindictive Strike. Deal 12 damage to the front enemy on health loss, -2 to its cooldown. I don't like that I'm re-rolling every time. It's spending so much of my gold that I'm almost never going to be able to make useful value from a store. Phlogiston, 3 to 6, gain 3 Banefire. Chaos Bolts. Deal 2 damage to a random enemy 3 times, upgrades to 4 times. It's a really good way of dealing damage after I've gained some power. It's probably significantly better than Sharp Sparks for us. Enchanting Effigy. Each turn, add a charge to a random spell. That's added to a random spell. If it's added to Fragmentize, it's sick as hell. If it's added to pretty much anything else, it's fine. Or a shard. And that shard here could be an upgrade for Chaos Bolt, so it's taking our damage to enemies 4 times. With power, I legitimately think that's probably way better than anything else here. I'm gonna disenchant a spell happily, get the sharp spark out of here. Gain 8 max HP and move into the boss battle. Big ol' Fragmentize. I should also deal with the fact that they're summoning reinforcements, and the reinforcements on turn 2, I don't think on turn 2 will try and attack, but I believe the Mother of Flames will. Chaos Bolt for 16 on you. And again, and then I'll invest 2 die into the Glowing Visage for the next turn. Ooh, you're buffing yourself and applying Soul Detonation to your friends. Don't like that. I suspect I might actually be best served by using Chaos Bolts this turn. It's possible... Nah. Taking 8, that's fine. Because I can't directly target anyone, so if I want to take out either of these before they soul detonate on me, I'm going to have to kill them with Chaos Bolt. Damn. If I actually missed the backline there, I would have finished the fight. Thankfully, though, I leave myself with just enough to gain some Glowing Visage, and I'm 26 HP away from full HP right now. So it should be pretty comfy to heal most of it back up. There we go, with just the health after the fight. Take the gold, another shard, and Balanced Mana Pearl. On turns 2, 4, and 6, roll an even value die. Shrunken Mana Stone on turns 1, 3, and 5. My turn 2 is one of my worst turns because it has the curse. Hex Robes does give me the ability to lower the cost of something, though. I suspect I'm going to need to have Kairotic Moment available the next floor. Maybe I do take the Balanced Mana Pearl here. One die every second turn, but it's available on my most dire of occasions, the second turn. I suspect it won't... I suspect it will count for the sake of condemnation, as in it will roll something even, but then also be reduced by 3. Possibility of setting myself up for a 2 elite path. Sure. I'm at least curious. Repulsion on these enemies. On each spell cast, they receive 1 weak. So I'm looking to cast as many spells as I possibly can. Fragmentize to start off with. Some mana splits for free. 2 and a 1 into Chaos Bolts. One goes into Kairotic Moment so that I can just cast that easily. And I'm willing to take 2 damage here. In order to cast Chaos Bolts once again. There we go. I cop 2 damage to the body. Never mind. I wondered if this would actually be the case. So the curse is used on the die that are rolled at the very start of the turn, but because the balanced mana pearl is not rolled at the start of every turn, it's not just +1 die per turn, it's on turn 2, 4, 6, roll an even die. It triggers after my mainline rolls. So it could have rolled a 2, it could have rolled a 4, it could have rolled a 6. Take no damage this turn. I'm gaining power every single turn, and Chaos Bolts is ready to just start shredding people next turn. Especially right now. Wow, a 3 into Fragmentize and then 2 6s just straight for the Chaos Bolts. That'll do it. Cinder Swipe. Deal X damage. If the target is attacking, reroll your dice. That seems like a really... I may take Searing Heat out of my build for that. That's a really good way for me to just get some extra damage out on the field. And possibly even reroll into a higher value so I can use the Chaos Bolts. Fragmentize goes there. That goes there. Kairotic goes at the very end next to Glowing Visage, Cinder Swipe, and then Chaos Bolt. Good. Hell yeah. Target attack spell gains 5 damage this combat. Well, if I put that on Chaos Bolts, that's just plus 20 damage. And the first time it's active is on the first turn I'm actually capable of killing enemies. Lifelock. Gain 1 vitality and then roll a wound die. So vitality says when you lose health, heal health. Removed at end of round. And wound says when spent in spells, lose health equal to half the dice value roll up. The fact that this gives you 1 vitality, and you roll with... I don't see... I just haven't seen enough synergy for vitality and wound to be able to confidently support it. Let's head to a shop. I think I will be trying to go for 2 elites here as well. Crescendo. Hello. Tablet of Anger. On any spell depleted, gain a Fury. It's also Life Scheme on a 2 rolled, heal alive. And then Skjoldor on health loss. Well, I mean, now I'm seeing some things that synergize with it. But Tablet of Anger. On any spell depleted, gain a Fury. That's 1, 2, probably 3, and then... That's like 3 Fury a turn? And I can even spend it in Chaos Bolt? Seems like a really easy source of damage for us. On health loss, gain delayed block equal to your health loss. I'm going to take a Volatile Concoction just to try and help me against a possible AoE in a boss fight. yeah, like it could help here in the illusory boss fight. I hope it doesn't, but it could. Hell yeah, look at this fury. And then I Cinder Swipe you. Twice. That's another depletion, baby. Let's drop the Chaos Bolts on ya. This turn fundamentally comes down to whether or not I think I'm staying in this fight that long. I don't think I am. So I'm going to accept 1 damage this turn in order to pre-prepare a much larger glowing visage. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to accept 1 damage this turn. 1 more Kairotic moment for you. Kairotic moment would be really good right now. Let's fragmentize that 3. I know I can Cinder Swipe each of you comfortably. Happily throw a 6 into Chaos Bolts. Excuse me? Oh my god, the illusion is also undying. Oh boy. Good thing I got ready to over-defend last turn. That could be pretty bad. Let's Arcane Infuse Chaos Bolts. Mana Splinter out there a couple times. There's our Glowing Visage and Chaos Bolts number 1. That'll do it. I could have fired off a second one if it somehow didn't. Regeneration Vial, 5 regeneration, that's great. Infused Shield, Combustion, and Demean. No, I'll roll. Flamestorm, deal 6 damage 4 times to a random enemy. What are you? Chaos Bolts? Just costs way more. I'll take you, and I'm never gonna use you. Talisman of Suppression, up to 2 random dice persist between rounds, or another yeah, well, I guess I'm going for the shard. Cinder Swipe being able to accept anything? Not relevant. Cinder Swipe dealing 3 more damage? Also not really that relevant, to be entirely frank with you. Kairotic Moment, halfway through this floor is about when the weak reduction of you needs to be upgraded. And then my next chart is going to be expanding my spell slots. Incoming damage this turn is all entirely prevented with a single Kairotic Moment. Gotta love it. Hit the fronty with a Cinder Swipe. And a Cinder Swipe at the second. Why ain't I do that? Chaos Bolts hits pretty much all of the appropriate targets. Kairotic Moment prevents any incoming damage. And then I'm going to heavily prepare for my Glowing Visage and my Chaos Bolts next turn. Oh man, I love Azar. Oh, what fun. He really knows how to have a good time. Two in Chaos Bolts. Okay. Glowing Visage for big defense. And then I will pre-prepare for another Glowing Visage. The enemy is silencing me here. Which means the first 2 die I roll are silence die, and when they're spent in a spell, they apply 2 mute to that spell. I can mute Fragmentize, because I'm not going to need it. Reroll a couple of things there. And then big old Chaos Bolts. And that'll happen to be enough to get us through the fight, so I won't have to worry about the muting at all. Woohoo! Golden spells. Phoenix Blast. Deal 12 damage if there's weak on the target. Roll a die. Nope. Reroll. Heat Stroke. Double the weak on a target. If I have to double the weak on a target, I'm already kind of screwed. Sun Shield. Gain X block. Also, gain 1 Radiant. I do really like Radiant, but you need to have a critical mass of it, otherwise you don't want any of it. I'm going to take Sun Shield with the possibility I might find other things that synergize with Sun Shield in the future, and then bring it into the build. But I already sold Incandescence. Enemy is gaining 1 Malediction, which is an attack that is unmodifiable. Unfortunately, he's not attacking this turn, so Cinder Swipe is not going to be as good as I want it to. Down to 90 HP on this bad boy. It's 50 damage on turn 1. And I gain 2 power. And I've got a Fury. Oh boy. Let's split this 6 in Mana Splinter, because I would love to have a... That's hilarious. I would love to have a value that's capable of being fragmentized, is what I was about to say. Thank you. I literally just need 1. I have enough with a full glowing visage to block all of your incoming. Hell yes. Hit him with another big old Chaos Bolts, and then prep the next one. 14 damage defended, and I gain 1 curse. What of it? I had 3 this turn. Ugh. Enemy is now doing 16 damage this turn, 14 and another 2. Kairotic Moment will take that all the way down to just 2 total. I'm going to drop the Chaos Bolts on the enemy for 60 damage, and then I'm going to mourn them as they're dead. Gold Smokescreen, gain 1 dodge. That's so much better than 12 block. Typically. Incandescence! Hello! Dimensional Cube, every 10th roll transforms into a 6. I do like 6s. 6s power Chaos Bolts by themselves. It's a single die Chaos Bolt. The thing is, I don't usually need that much else. And I really want the shard. I really want the shard now because with Sun Shield, Incandescence, it's so much easier to think about actually taking Radiance. I'm going to open the slot, as I said I would. Fire will synergize far better with me. Fire wants small dice. Fire wants multiple small die. Fire wants so many things that I want. Pyre. I will happily take Pyre back into this build. and I'll replace the Sun Shield. Because I usually don't need as much defense as the Glowing Visage is capable of giving me. Sometimes I just need a little. And if I just need a little, and I just want to expend some extra die, Pyre is a great way to do that. To suppress, apply Broken to spells cast. So the first two spells I cast will have Broken applied to them next turn. Thankfully, none of the enemies attacking. Okay, I have to split this again. Hey, that was a nightmare. I just wanted a Fragmentize, that's it. I just wanted something that was going to be capable of giving me a Fragmentize that turn. Fine, I'm going to cast Pyre twice this turn then. Gain 4 power that way. So Broken is applied to the first two spells I cast, which is fine, because with enough ones, Broken doesn't really matter. One single Kairotic moment already gets me through this turn, so I can continue pressing the advantage. With 4 Fury, I really feel like I should throw the Chaos Bolts before I do anything else, rather than Cinder Swipe first. That's good. Throw a 5 and a 1 into Chaos Bolts for both of them getting down to almost dead. And then I will open Fragmentize again. All right, you're all dead next turn. Okay, so where does our big difficulty come in, right? Because we're doing okay at the moment, right? So I need to consider, when is that not going to be the case, and how do I prevent that from being the case at the time? Bombard. On a 1 to 3, deal X damage to the rear enemy 2 times. Upgrades to have an additional hit, or Falling Fire and Combustion. I'm just going to accept Falling Fire, because I'm probably going to get rid of it in 1 space's time. A Sanctuary? You want me to disenchant a spell? Have Falling Fire. Yeah, so the big problem for me is going to be fights that persist more than 3 turns. Those seem like they'll suck. And individual large attacks. So individual large attacks I have a way to get away from. I'm holding a smoke screen. That will save me a lot of health in what fight has individual large attacks as well as lasts longer than 3 turns? That's right, Arcanax, the final fight. That'll be good then. So I'll probably end up keeping it the entire way. Anything except for a 1 and a 5 is fine by me. That'll do. I just needed to get my Fragmentize on. One, 2, 3, and then spend a 4th dice in that, and boom! There's some extra power for us. I want to gain the power so much that I'm going to use Glowing Visage twice this turn, for just 6s, in order to roll some low die, because I need low die to... 4 in order to be able to cast Pyre again for some more permanent power. That's 6 power on turn 1, and then I still get to throw a Chaos Bolt out there, and I'm still defended. That was a good roll. Well, unfortunately, the enemies are now playing weak and snare to me. Which is fine. I love to delay. That's my favorite thing. Yeah, I really don't care how much you snare me. I especially don't care if you only snare me once. Good, the backliner is attacking me. Good to see. I'm going to Cinder Swipe you twice. For some rerolls, as you see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll count. And then Kairotic Moment for some more block. Alright, I'll be taking no damage this turn. But I'm going to throw out another Chaos Bolt. Oh my god, it only hit the frontliner. That's so much better. Because then it doesn't even transform the backliner. And all the weakening I've already done and defending I've already done is worth its weight in gold. Fragmentize again. Chaos Bolts is now doing big damage. Even bigger damage. Send out a Chaos Bolt so I know what I'm dealing with in terms of attack patterns from the enemy. So we got a 12/2 coming in. That's one Kairotic Moment. And then I can even Pyre. Pyre actually feels like it's really good for my consistent growth. Got him. No health needed, but I will take that shard and the gold. Crooked dice. Roll an extra die each turn. 6s lose 1 in value. So 6s losing 1 in value could be really cool in a world where I had the other upgrade for Fragmentize. Because then I always roll 5s as my highest, making it very easy to activate. But I also like 6s in my deck for the sake of, or in my possibility set to roll for the sake of things like Chaos Bolts. Pyre could give me more power which admittedly early turns feel like, you know, double Pyre for a bunch of power and Kairotic Moment is not bad. I'm feeling like Radiant is unlikely to work its way back into this build at this point. I feel like I probably got my final set. Take the extra power from Pyre. I think that'll help me account for the next floor a lot better. Exuberant Wand for every 12 spells. Roll the die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I generate about 75% of a mana each turn. The first 3 rolls, it turns into 3 wands, is great, except for the fact that Fragmentize really wants to hit a 3, and sometimes I only roll a 3 per turn. I'm going to take a reroll here. Roll an extra die each turn. On enemy death, lose 1 health. More than happy to take that. Amulet of Sacrifice, -1 block from spells. A little less so. Leyline Focus. Roll +1 die each turn. All enemies gain 1 power. I'm happy to go for the Dreadstone. And I'm over the moon, frankly, to have an extra die each turn now. Consistently, each turn. I should go to a shop before the end of the game. So I'll have to veer off to the left here. So this is where my Volatile Concoction may come in handy. If I feel threatened. If I don't feel threatened, I don't need to use it. I'm looking to Pyre twice and Kairotic Moment once this turn. One, 2, 3, 4. Hit him with 1 Kairotic Moment, and then there we go. Incoming damage is too low for me to really worry about. Start investing in Chaos Bolts. And I have 8 power already. Yeah, I suspect I'll be fine, actually. Luckily got something to fragmentize there. Effects. I am going to want to throw a Chaos Bolts out on the field. Twice. Great damage. Pop 1 Kairotic Moment, and then I'll block the rest using a Growing Visage. And now everyone's available to die! That's great news, because I'm gonna kill you. So it happens to be handy. I lose 1 health, unfortunately, from my Dreadstone, but that'll happen. 4 and 2 and go and get him. Gold, a branding tonic that I don't think I need. Vindictive Strike, Combustion, and Hurt. I have a shop coming up soon, so I'm not going to be wanting any of these. Well, I mean, Vindictive Strike does trigger on health loss, at least. Yeah, so there's some value there. Not that I want it, or I'm going to use it. Attacks gain 20% lifesteal for 1 turn is an ability for me to heal back up, and I should not overlook that. The fact that I do now deal health loss to myself more consistently does poke at the edges of Lifelock, but still, no. Bloodbound Skin, thank you. Plague Pestle. Oh, Luminance. Freeze 3 attack spells cast in a single turn. Apply 1 weak to all enemies. I don't cast that many attack spells. However, Plague Pestle. On applied attack, apply 1 pox. Chaos Bolt triggers that 4 times itself. I think I need the Plague Pestle. I can sell those 2, and I can even take Luminance if I really wanted to right now. I mean, I'm gonna have nothing else I can do with my money anyway, so it comes down to, ultimately, do I want Crystal Snort? Because that's the only thing that otherwise I wouldn't be able to afford that I would possibly buy in tandem with Luminance. +3 power on turn 1, I actually think is not relevant to me. I'm going to take Luminance, I'm going to walk away, and I'm almost certainly never going to use Luminance. Hey buddy, 8x3? Oh, that's sad business. That's completely invalidated by 1 Kairotic moment. Trick higher. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trick higher again. Up to 8 strength. There's a big old Chaos Bolts for you. And that triggers Pox on you 2 times as well. And then Kairotic Moment saves us entirely from incoming damage, so I can just focus on charging up Chaos Bolts for the next turn. Gain a 2, so I can use Fragmentize. I'm not going to worry about instabilities literally at all here. Which is often how I interact with this fight. Take some strength away from you. 1, 2, 3. Four, 5, trigger Pyre. And then I can use Pyre again for defense this turn, but I think I actually may go with Kairotic Moment, so that I can stay aggressive and throw out the Chaos Bolts. Especially with both of my spells coming up this turn, I suspect this is as long as we will be here. Giving myself 20% lifesteal on my attacks this turn. And I'm already back on full HP for it. And the Chaos Bolts never do me wrong. Gold, another spell. Zeal of the Sun. If I still had the Flamestorm and then upgrade the Flamestorm to give us powers on Destroy. I'll reroll. Yeah. None of this is relevant at all. Illuminate Necklace. For each 3 attack spells cast in a single turn, deal 10 damage to a random enemy. We're going to be going with a Shard. Glowing Visage is actually not being used. Glowing Visage is actually not being used right now. In the final fight, that will be necessary. I don't roll high values unless I use my low values in Cinder Swipe to upgrade by rolling into something higher. I could actually see a world in which Kairotic Moment I consider to be not powerful enough for the final fight. In which case I could do a substitution like this suddenly. I currently really want Mana Splitter because it generates extra mana for us. But the extra mana it generates is not necessarily always useful. I often have a lot of ones. But the thing is, if I don't roll that many ones and I also roll really high, then instead I can't Fragmentize, which suddenly does make a new problem as well. Go to an event. In a Berserk Potion, 15 Fury. I mean, it's pretty good for a single fight. Probably better than the Volatile Concoction for us. Oh. Hello, Door to Beyond. Ah, welcome, Wrath Voidling from Beyond. Thankfully, you are both attacking this turn, so I know what to do about that. This would be a great turn to have Incandescence. A reasonably big Kairotic Moment there. 2, 4. Excuse me, I tried to find a mute button and hit it as fast as I possibly could, but the sneezes wait for no person. Right. Level 1 and a 5 in here, for even more defense, as well as rolling 3 new die. Those 3 new die should... possibly, at least, give me the ability to cast Pyre twice this turn successfully. So 4 or more dice spent in it. I can put... no, I can only cast successfully once. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after that, I've got to go for... Chaos bolts against everyone, and then another chaos bolts against everyone. Unfortunately, again, I can't kill this turn. Wait a whole nother turn until I can murder them. This is definitely the time for Kairotic moment to shine. One, 2, 3, 4. I'll use Kairotic moment again. There's no need not to. Especially when I know the fight ends next turn, courtesy of Chaos Bolts. Well, actually, never mind. Ends this turn, courtesy of Cindersway. Charcoal Backdraft again. Demean and Furnace. Other spells have -1 countdown for each dice you spend in Furnace. Yeah, but the spells that have countdown for me are spells that I want to invest my own things into. I'll reroll here. Conflagration. Deal 2 damage 2 times. All other spells get +1 to their cooldown. Sorry, to their countdown. Giving me the ability to invest more into Glowing Visage or Pyre, but those don't really want that much investment. I'll take Conflagration, I'm just not going to use it. Alright, I'm going to go to the Elite. This is literally just to challenge myself. Oh, dang. This guy's gonna suck. Depleting Presence. All spells only restore 1 charge per turn, so I should expend Glowing Visage this turn. Two, 3, 4, 5 in that. And then I can put a 1 and a 5. That will deplete it, rolling 3 1-2s, and the next turn I can deplete it easily, rolling more 1-2s. And then, oh wow, I have exactly enough to do this. I can invest 4 into a Pyre to gain 3 more strength, and then finally Chaos Bolts the enemy for a bunch of damage. I'll take no damage this turn, although admittedly I will be gaining less block from individual blocks this next turn. Good old Fragmentize. And we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 invested into Glowing Visage, re-rolling a bunch of die for us. The die are currently too high to be able to use Pyre. Unless I split. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's Pyre. And then a Kairotic moment is enough to save me from all incoming damage. Then I can start charging up towards the Chaos Bolt as well. That did grand. Unfortunately, it's not a good Cinder swiping turn. I suspect I'm pretty close to the end of this. I'm gonna put a 6 into Glowing Visage, literally just to roll a bunch more low value die. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. There goes Pyre for 3 more power, and now I have the ability to Chaos Bolts for 27 4 times. And I also left myself with another 6, so I could Chaos Bolt again after that. Iron Skin already dropped that earlier. Just re-rolling, looking at additional things at this point in time. Convalescence, the first time I've seen it. Heal 4 health, unrestorable. I'll take it, and then I'll skip it, because I don't need it. Staff of Lightning on a 6 roll deals 3 damage to all enemies. That's not going to be really relevant in the final fight. I'm going to take the shard. I'm probably not going to want it. Like, I can get 3 extra damage on Cinder Swipe. It doesn't matter to give it the ability to roll any other die, because I'm not going to roll anything except for a 1. Realistically, Cinder Swipe is probably the thing that I drop to put Incandescence in the build. I don't need to decide that yet. Let me see how this Incandescence goes. Well, good thing I kept Mana Splitter this turn, otherwise I wasn't going to be able to use my Fragmentize. Two, 3, 4, and then I'll put a 2 in here. Then a 1 and a 5 immediately to get my lower die. Then I'll start investing in Pyre. And start pre-investing in my next cast of Pyre. Nothing wrong with a turn like that. See, the thing is, when I roll really... Turn 2 is a problem for me, because I can't re-roll into any higher die right now, so I have to use Growing Visage. I have to get through 12 points of countdown. I don't want that. cast Pyre a second time before die, and then Kairotic Moment again. And then I'm gonna start pre-baking a Chaos Bolts. 16 by 2, rude. Right after what we'd accomplished last turn. $30 to a random enemy 4 times. Perfect. And in fact, I'll finish you off with another Chaos Bolts. Volatile Concoction versus each of these. Honestly, Berserk Fury is kind of... Well, but Volatile Concoction's not good in the final fight, so I'll take the Berserk Fury instead. Crescendo. Roaring Embers, deal 1 damage, increased by 4 for each die spent. Upgrades to increase by 6 for each die spent. I do like that. I'm not going to be able to use it though. Nourish Flames, +2 countdown to target spell, and roll 2 1/2/2s. What if I put Sun Shield in my build instead of Kairotic Moment? That's what I'm going to do for the final fight. And I'll in fact disenchant Kairotic Moment, giving myself another shard, and woohoo! I have nothing I can do with that shard that would be useful, so I'm just gonna hold it while I win. That's the plan. Hello, Arcanax. 22 damage on turn 1. That's a really, really poor roll. Possible Smokescreen gets invoked this turn already. Yikes. I'm not even capable of casting Glowing Visage twice this turn. Alright. You got me. I'll Smokescreen. Which means I want to invest as much as possible into Radiant. Because I could. Pop a 6 and a 3 into this Incandescence. Another 3 into Fragmentize. I can spare a 1 to open the Sun Shield now. Oh, that didn't even get an additional charge previously. Rude. Well, I'll put a 6, a 2, and a 1 into Incandescence, which will make a Sun Shield give us Radiance again. Gives us the ability to Fragmentize a bit more. Yeah, this feels like it was the right decision, even if my defense is hot garbage. Sorry, oat garbage. Six and a bunch of 1s in Incandescence again, and I can use Sun Shield. 5 and a 1 in Sun Shield. Boom, we're Radiant. Fragmentize one more time. 2, 3, 4. Gain 4 block as well as 3 power from Pyre there. Incoming damage is now 6. One, two. Okay, we're taking 6 damage this turn, actually. I think I might be in service of moving towards my next incandescence again. Yeah, that was a lot of power I could generate that turn. And if I really wanted to, I could have defended as well. Like, if I cared to defend, I totally could have. Would have been fine. It's actually easy for me. It's actually easier for me to defend than not. Let's play a Berserk Potion this turn, I think. Yeah, I gotta open Fragmentize as soon as possible here. That'll do it. And I can pop 2 1s into Sun Shield and pop Radiance as well. Woohoo! I'll Fragmentize a 5, so that or rather a Mana Split a 5, so that I guarantee that I have something to Fragmentize. Well, I guess unless it's split into a 4 and a 1, but... Oh dear. It didn't. Yay. Woohoo! Just cast Incandescence 2 times in a row and just become Radiant again. And in fact, cast again, and then Sun Shield 2 times. And I'm Radiant again. That's the ability to cast Fragmentize another 2 times for another 4 power. Let's keep up our mana splitting. Yeah, I'm looking for something like 64 damage. Sorry, 65 damage 4 times. Yeah, that'll do. All right, you're on your invincible side now. Perfect. 5 and a 4 in Incandescence. The enemy is not attacking this turn. They are instead debuffing a random one of my spells with Broken. I'm gonna unbreak Pyre for a second. Gain a little bit more. 2, 3, 4. A little bit more strength in Pyre, and honestly, I'm just gonna pre-bake a Glowing Visage as well. Chaos Bolts, but that's my damage. I need that to kill you with. Rude, not even considering whether or not I might want to murder you. 2 1s go into the Sunshine. I don't need to unlock Chaos Bolts first because I don't really care if it gets that many more charges. I'm not going to cast it more than 2 times a turn. Five and a 4 in Incandescence gives us nothing. Gives us nothing. But a 5 and a 4 in Incandescence now. Well, what doesn't it give us? Another 5 and a 4 to put in Incandescence, which then gives us another 1 to put in Sun Shield, and boom, we're Radiant yet again. That's 2 charges of Fragmentize I can use for even more power. And boy, Mana Splitter will literally just generate me extra die. So I can open that Chaos Bolt very easily. That's some pretty good block right there. Thinking I should throw a Couple of chaos bolts at this bad boy. Yeah, I'll kill you next turn. I'm gonna drink my regeneration vial, sun shield, and work towards another incandescence, and work towards another glowing visage as well. Alright, buddy. Did you have fun this fight? Did you? I hope you did. It's the last fight you'll ever take part in. I have an abhorrent incandescence. We're radiant again. And you know what? Let's pop a whole bunch of splits here. 8, 5, and 4 ones gets us incandescent one more time, and now I can't do it anymore. That's okay. We fragmentized a bunch of times. That's gotta be worth something. Chaos Bolts for 58 times 4. It was also carrying Pox and other effect, but of course, hardly relevant in this instance. The enemy is dead, and that is, ba-boom, Mutation Stage 6, which is the highest difficulty currently available in the game, complete. With the game at Mutation Stage 6, and with Fire C. There's our successful build right there. A new artifact is available in the artifact vault, and it is not suddenly appearing. The only one of these that I've not seen before, though, is Everguard. On turn 1, gain a Tenacity. Tenacity. Block is not removed between rounds, and -2 block from spells. I'm keen to do my barricading build, but until then, my name has been Rhapsody, and the name of the game has been SpellRogue. Top left is a series playlist for all of my content until the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendation is down below. Streaming past are the names of the people so generally supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And above the thank tier, and a special thanks this episode to Jazzy. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.